On this episode of Salt and Siren, stranded at the boatyard. Sir Salt leaves me behind to see if I can pull anything off at the boat. Let's see what I can do. Welcome. Stranded at the boatyard, branded a fool. Yeah, that's a little of what might have been going through my mind when Salt left me here, among the rest of the boats, for me to just figure it out. But hey, there are boats in worse condition than ours, beautiful as they are in their own way, so I think I'm winning.
Well, guys, it is just me now on the boat for a week. No transportation, on the hard, roughing it with little Miss Pip. And we're gonna see if we can get some stuff done in this boat. Yeah, it needs desperately cleaned out, and I'm gonna get some of the paintings done, and some other little projects so we can speed up this process, because yeah, it's pretty bad. So pray for me.
So one of the main reasons why I stayed behind was to deal with the boot stripe. And if you watched our previous episode, you already know that we had a bit of a paint debacle, and we knew it was going to take probably a couple of days to remedy this. So we found the right paint and decided I'd stay behind and start with the sanding. All right, I've had a break in the weather, and so I'm going to paint, and I've already started. We decided to go with this Rust-Oleum topside. A lot of people had recommended it, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed with how it has gone on. So I'm gonna add a little more to my palette here. You guys can come and see what I've done so far. I'm pretty happy with it. It goes on really, really smooth. That's one coat, and I'm not going heavy at all. I mean, I'm gonna have to come back and sand probably a little bit and do obviously another coat, if not two, but I mean, it's going on really well. So yeah, there you go. So overall, I ended up doing this over a 3-day period and did 3 coats and sanded in between each coat. I actually am really happy with the result and would recommend it, and we're considering doing more projects with this paint. We'll see how it holds up. I actually had a few days of rain while I was at the boat for a week, and that's okay because I had plenty, unfortunately, to do inside. Alright, so I am going to kind of do a little temporary cosmetic change in this kitchen. So we have this fantastic harvest yellow, which my mom would really love, countertop. It's just a melamine. I'm going to put contact paper on it just to zhuzh it up a little bit, and it's raining outside, so I might as well. And I'm actually going to try to do it to our fridge, which still works unbelievably well. Until we do like an actual galley makeover, I think I'm going to do that. I may even put it up here on this fake wood, not the real wood. And then that back panel there will probably be white. I'll paint it like I did over here. So that's what I'm going to work on because it's raining. So I can't do anything outside. Alright guys, so this is kind of how this turned out so far. So this is the contact paper. It really wasn't that hard to do. It was a little harder when I tried to maybe put it on the fridge to see just how it would look. I didn't like it on the fridge. We're gonna do something else there. But and then this is the backsplash, which is real marble actually in stone, but it was a stick-on. So they come in these big sheets. You can see in the end here. I'm not done. We ran out. So we'll be finishing that up, but you can see, wow, huge update. and really affordable. And so until we decide to do a full like galley redo, this is a great alternative. Yeah, and so sorry, you're getting a lot of my mess here, but yeah, so that turned out really well. So I'm happy with that. So here you go. And these are the extra pieces that I have that I don't have enough to do really anything with, but I can use it to fill in any gaps later on because this space gets smaller as you go down this way. So it's a bit of a geometry nightmare, but yeah, really happy with it so far. I got a break in the weather and I decided to do something that I hadn't discussed with Todd first, which was me tackling our swim platform. This guy is in rough condition. It has a few cracks in it, so the structure seems to be really good. It's just the people who have had it before us, they just kept lacquering it over and over again with no sanding and no care in between. So I decided I'd try to get it stripped so we could restain it and start over again. As a rookie, I underestimated how long this project would actually take me. But after 5 hours and a couple days, it was worth it. Next step will be staining. The Demopolis boatyard is filled with all kinds of great characters, and that would include Joe, who took me out to lunch when the weather broke one day, so thank you so much for the company. We've had this boat a year, and one thing we have not done yet is a pump out. Now, before you get too grossed out, we have a composting system on board and we haven't used our heads. And we're going to upgrade actually that system as well. So I finally got a pump out on the hard. Look at me getting all kinds of things done. The rest of my week consisted of finishing up the last details on the boot stripe, cleaning the boat out fully, and just waiting for Todd to get back. I think I did all right. It was a messy week and we were exhausted. And by we, I mean me. He's back, and his first order of business is to tackle the zincs. Now this is the start of a bonding project that we are going to put on the boat. And we had zincs on the shafts before, but they were magnesium based, so these are the proper ones. And he's going to tackle these and the rudders in this particular trip.
He ground out all that paint so he could put the zincs on there. So the one on the other rudder. And there's the other side. So they're not completely on yet. Just got them attached. We're gonna have a friend check them out. Some old salt folks. Make sure we've got this figured out right. And then we're going to add them on our trim. Don't mind the sawdust, but we're gonna add them, I don't know, somewhere, maybe on the corner or something. And then we may have no name. Our boat has no name.
Yes, I removed her name, but don't worry, we have a new one already ready to go, and we're planning that ceremony as we speak. And while Todd finished up the zincs project, I went back inside with this one.
Kiki's doing the measuring. She's super helpful. So I'm tackling this project. So those of you who have a Chris Craft, you know what this is. It's just this pocket of shelves that you can use for various things. We've had tools and paints and all kinds of things in here. I really think it's actually meant for some kind of clothing aside from our closet here. So I took the mirrors off. So there's the mirrors. They're just kind of those fake cardboardy type mirrors. They're good ones actually, but I'm going to leave them off, I think, because this space is super narrow. So, pardon all my mess, but I think it'll give us the illusion of having more space in this tiny little walkway to have this open. And it's not so dated. Obviously, the mirrors are a little dated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to contact paper white around the back, kind of that backsplash, if you will, area. And then I'm going to use the marble for the actual shelves. So we'll see how it looks.
I didn't complete this project on this particular trip, so the next time that I get down there, I'll show you the finished product. It turned out really well. Pretty happy with it. So after a productive, I think 10 or 11 days for me at the boat, and Todd had another full weekend, it was time to go home. and discuss some of the things that we got done and more of the things that we didn't, which means we have to adjust our project timeline. Here's Todd to explain.
Well, you were down the week before I even got down there, and you were doing so well, I was going to really put on a show. And tried to buff the boat out. Didn't really work out like we expected. It made a difference, but it wasn't enough to waste that much time on it. So we did half the boat. It came out okay, but there were too many other projects to do, so we skipped on. We were trying to buff the boat while it was out of the water, easy to get to. So we focused on the bottom. We're talking about the timing of everything. We're kind of at the beginning of hurricane season, and we're in Demopolis, Alabama. And we're about 3 boat days from Destin. So we're pretty close. And we just had a big whopper of a hurricane kind of come through. We didn't know where it was going to go. It ended up staying on the east coast of Florida, but it kind of reiterated the fact that we have to deal with hurricanes now. And the one thing I don't want to do is get all the way down there, get all settled in, and then
have to turn around
and come back to where we are. It probably is a safe place.
Yeah.
So we're contemplating pushing our date back to the beginning of October or the end of October, depending on what that looks like.
Well, maybe getting back in the water in the first or second week of October, and then making sure that everything's working well.
Spend some time just on the water where we're near the marina that we're at, where we can work on stuff in case there's an engine issue. And we're changing some stuff, and we want to make sure that everything is functional before we get underway, technically. So there's a marina right that we stayed at. It's right there by the boatyard. And I think we're going to drop in the beginning of October, maybe stay there for a month, and then leave the end of October, beginning of November. That way we can bypass a lot of hurricane season. We can finish up some of the projects, even the above water projects.
I have nothing to add.
We did it. Nailed it.
I'm not sure why I'm on camera.
What are you doing over there?
Just waiting for you to stop talking.
I'm done.
And that's that. On the next episode of Salt and Siren, we are going to have a deeper discussion about how we're doing part-time liveaboard life. For those of you who think it has to be all or nothing, we're going to prove you wrong. And again, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit that subscribe button and hit the bell if you want to be alerted to our next one that drops. See you next time, guys.